What's going on, dickweeds? Fucking right! Bloop! Hey. Today's Thursday. You should know that, but if you didn't, I'm here to tell you. Hey, it's Thursday. I'm smoking lemon pie and Bubba Kush. I'm also eating a toasted tomato sandwich. Hey, washing it down with a can of lemonade. Hey, fucking lemonade. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey, your likes have really been helping Oot the channel. Thanks for helping Oot. Cigrit holder to yous. Donna's not going to be in today's video. She's still watching The Days of Our Lives. I thought she'd be done with it yesterday, but I guess she still got more to go. Hey, I don't know how far behind she is, but I guess she's got more episodes to go. So she'd rather be doing that. Hey, so I figured today I would tell you guys some stories. Hey, I still got that mustache hair bothering the shit right out of me. Anyway, I figured today I would tell you guys some stories. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you guys some childhood stories. Hey? One's from when me and my brother Billy used to go to Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario to visit our mother. As most of you guys know, our parents are divorced. I have 9 brothers. There's 10 of us all together. But me and Billy come from my dad's first marriage, and then everybody else came later. Hey? Anyway, yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you guys some stories about when me and my brother Billy used to go to Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario to visit our mother. We used to go every second weekend. Except for the month of August, we'd go for the full month. Hey, that's how it was worked out. Anyway, hang on a second. I don't know what's going on here. I don't see nothing. But I got this mustache here that's really pissing me off. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not seeing nothing. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Hey, it's bothered me yesterday too. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Hey? So yeah, I'm going to tell you guys some stories about my childhood. When me and my brother Billy used to go visit our mother in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Our father lived in Sudbury, Ontario. Our mother lived in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. So we'd have to travel 4 hours every second Friday to Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. And every Sunday all the way back to Sudbury, Ontario. Except for, like I said, in August we'd go to Sault Ste. Marie for the full month because I guess that's how the judge had it worked out. Hey, I don't know, but that's how it was. Anyway, one time, I may have told a few of these stories before, I don't fucking know. But I don't think I did. I got the munchies really bad right now. Hey, just saying. Anyway, we used to go to the arena with my mom when we got to the Sioux. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, whenever there's wrestling events, and her husband would be there waiting for us. He'd already have the seats, and the tickets and all that, or however that worked, He already went and bought the tickets, and he was there waiting for us, at the seats, And we usually got seats that were hang on, let me get in a bong token. I'll be able to talk better. Hey, just hold on. That's better. Hey? Fucking rights. Okay. We used to go to the arena and we'd watch the wrestling. Hey? And one time we went and the main event was Steve Strong and Abdullah the Butcher. And our seats this time happened to be close to the ring. We were sitting in steel chairs. There's a whole bunch of steel chairs, kind of like what you see today, but more old-fashioned. Hey? There was no padding on the old chairs or nothing. They were just hard steel chairs. Sometimes there's plastic chairs, but not all the time. Anyway. Steve Strong and Abdul the Butcher were kicking the shit out of each other. Hey? There was blood everywhere. They're both bleeding, but Abdul the Butcher, he had it the worst. He had blood everywhere. He was covered in it. He was bleeding everywhere. He was leaking bad. Hey? And they fought their way into the crowd, and the crowd got up and ran the fuck out of the way. And Steve Strong and Abdul the Butcher, they went through the fucking chairs and knocking things over and picking up the chairs and fucking, giving it to each other, hey? And my brother Billy, he's a year and a half younger than I am. For some reason, he thought that was the perfect time to go and get an autograph, hey? So he started running through the fucking knockdown chairs towards Steve Strong and Abdul the Butcher for an autograph, and my fucking mom started running after him, and no word of a lie, when Steve Strong hit Abdul the Butcher this one time, Abdul the Butcher fell back through some chairs. Like, he smashed the chairs when he fell through them, eh? And my brother was probably only about 1.5 to 2 feet away. He was just about crushed, eh? I figured I'd tell you guys about that first because I was thinking about that today, eh? He almost got crushed by Abdul the Butcher. Abdul the Butcher, I think he weighed about 400, maybe 500 pounds. I don't remember exactly, but he wasn't a little guy, eh? Okay, here's another story. It's not a wrestling one, though. Eh? Okay. I can probably concentrate a little better now because my sandwich is finished and... Yeah, hey. Okay, the next story, when I was 9 years old, my mother lived on Allen Side Road. If you live in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, you know where that is probably. Allen Side Road. I'm pretty sure she lived in the first house on your right-hand side when you're turning off of, yeah, hey, I don't remember. Anyway, she lived on Allen Side Road, first house on the right. There's a great big silver garage thing there. Her husband was a trucker. Well, he was a trucker, but he was one of those log truck driving truckers. Hey, he sat up on the back of the truck and picked up logs to put on his truck with the great big arm, and then he drove them from here to there and stuff. Hey, well, anyway, so that's why they lived in that house. That's why I was telling you guys that. That's why the great big silver fucking... Anyway, on with my story. I was 9 years old and we were at that house, and my mother was taking a nap. So I got the keys to her car. Hey? And it was a Mustang. It was a Ford Mustang, I think. I'm pretty sure it was. I could be wrong, but I think it was. And I started it up and I took it for a spin all over the yard. The property's really big. And I started doing donuts with the car. Like, I destroyed the lawn. Hey? Like, I did donuts and I was like fucking just... I was just cruising all over that fucking yard, like, big time. Hey? My brother was in the passenger seat. And he wanted his turn to drive, and I wouldn't let him drive because, I was driving. Hey. So he got mad, and I let him out of the car, but I wasn't thinking I probably shouldn't have let him out. Reason for that? The little cocksucker went in the house and woke my mom up. Next thing you know, my mom was running after the car. I was speeding away, still doing donuts. She couldn't catch me. Oh, obviously, because I was in the car, but that went on for about a half hour. She kept trying to catch me, and she couldn't. Sorry if the stories are boring. I don't got anything else for today. It's a hot, muggy day. The heat hasn't gone away, and yeah. Hey. Okay. Next story. Okay. I don't know how to say this story, how to tell this story. You guys might not have had this happen to you in your childhood. Maybe it did. I don't know. I don't know how everybody's life is. I don't know. Everybody has a different upbringing. Eh? Anyway, when I was like... This is at a different house now. This isn't on Allen Side Road. This is on 3rd Line. My mom lived on 3rd Line. She had the same husband. They lived in a house just before the Indian Reserve at the end of 3rd Line. Also on the right-hand side. Hey? Anyway. Me and my brother weren't listening very well. We were horsing around. Hey? What kids do. We were horsing around. Fuck! Hey? I got 2 boys, and they used to horse around a lot. Kind of like me and my brother, sort of. Pretty similar, hey? But when me and my brother used to horse around and my mother would get really pissed off at us, my mom... This didn't happen all the time. This only happened like 2 or 3 times. Maybe 4 times, man, I don't know. You kind of lose count after a while, hey? Your memory gets faded as you get older, and but anyway, I remember this one time. I'll tell you the story about one time. I can't tell you all of them because all the stories are a little bit, they're fucked in my head right now. They're foggy, and it's been so long that, yeah. But I got this one story that I remember real well. Me and my brother Billy, we were horsing around. We weren't listening at all. We were watching, I think we were watching WWF wrestling. I'm pretty sure, like it was Saturday night's main event or something. And my mother was getting pissed off because we were wrestling and stuff, and I don't remember exactly what else we were doing, but we weren't listening to her, and so she went into the kitchen and went into the drawer, the silverware drawer, eh? And she pulled out a knife. Probably about that. Hopefully you could see my... There. I'll go sideways. It was probably about that long. It was almost as long as the neck of my bong here. And she'd pick up the phone and she'd call my dad. And she'd say, "You have a half an hour to pick up Eddie and Billy. Otherwise I'm going to stab them to death. I'm going to fucking kill them." And that's it. And my dad couldn't pick us up in a half an hour because, my mom lived in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. He lived in Sudbury, Ontario. That's a 4-hour fucking drive. So, my grandparents, they lived in Hanmer, Ontario, but my grandfather also built a house in Thessalon, Ontario. So, it just so happens on that day that my mother was going to stab me and my brother to death, my grandparents were in Thessalon. And that's only about 45 minutes away from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. So, my grandparents drove to my mom's house and picked us up, and yeah, we didn't die that day. Eh? Fuck's sakes. Anyway, that's a true story. Another story from when I was a kid. I hope I'm not boring you guys, but a lot of people ask about different things, you know, like they want to hear stories about my life and stuff, and I haven't really told you guys much. I mean, I've told you guys some things, but I haven't told you a lot. I'm not really good at telling stories, you know. I mean, sometimes I am, depending on the story, but I try my best with these childhood ones, but, you know, Donna's used to telling childhood stories. I'm not really used to telling them. Hey? So, hopefully you're not too fucking bored. Okay. So, yeah, my mother used to threaten to stab me and my brother. She never actually stabbed us, as you know. Hey? Never touched us with it. It was all threats, but still, it was a little fucked. Hey? I think I would have been about 6 or 7, I think. So my brother, he's a year and a half younger than me, so yeah. Anyway, we were young. Another story, same house. This is on Third Line. It was a Sunday. My mom had to get me and Billy back to Sudbury, Ontario, to my father's house, because that was the rules, eh? Them was the rules. And I had an uncle, one of my mom's brothers, that was going to Sudbury. He had a transport that he was driving, and he couldn't get it down Third Line to where my mom lives. To where my mom lived. She doesn't live there anymore. So what my uncle did is he went and stole somebody's Corvette out of the driveway. It was a 2-seater. I'm pretty sure it was a Corvette. And he drove it to my mom's house. Him and my mom got in the front. Me and my brother were squashed into the back, you know, right up by the fucking... that little spot up by the back window, you know, where you keep your box of Kleenex. Hey? We were up in there, like, crammed in there. And my uncle sped out of my mom's driveway up the street, ditched the car, and we got into his transport and drove to Sudbury, and he dropped us off, and yeah. Hey? I wasn't going to tell this story here, but now that I'm talking about this uncle, I'll tell you guys a story about him. I don't really know him that well. I just know that, I mean, I know him, sort of, like, from when I was a kid. I don't know him, like, as an adult, you know? Like, I've never seen him in my adulthood. Hey, I've only seen him in my childhood. And my mom used to tell us stories about him, because he spent most of his life in jail, as far as I've understood, as far as I understand, he spent most of his life in jail. And anyway, my mother told me a story the last time I was at her house. That was a long time ago. Over a decade ago. She told me a story, and I figured I would tell you guys about it before I continue with what I have here. I only got one more story on my notes here, so... Anyway, so my uncle, he's a known crook, as far as I have been told. I've heard these stories from my mom, so if some of my cousins are watching and what I'm saying is not true, you'll have to speak to my mother about it, eh? But I do know he stole a car and picked me and my brother up, because I was fucking there that time, so that is true. Anyway, so my uncle went into the Canadian Tire. I think it was Canadian Tire. This is, I don't know where. I don't know what town it was. It might have been in Edmonton or something. I don't know where. I forget how the story goes. Or maybe he lived in Edmonton afterwards or something. I don't know. Anyway, he went into Canadian Tire and he fucking stole a canoe. He walked into the fucking store, according to my mother, and he picked it up, and because he's a pretty big guy, eh? So he just picked it up and fucking walked through the store with it and right out the fucking door. And nobody questioned him at all, because, you know, it's just a guy walking with a canoe. They just assumed he paid for it. So he walked through the door and got away with it. He strapped it to his vehicle, and he wasn't done there, though. Hey, he got away with the boat. But according to my mom, He went back into the store and tried to steal the paddles. And he got caught. And when he got caught stealing the paddles, they discovered that he had a fucking boat that he stole, and it was strapped to his vehicle, and he ended up going back to jail. I remember when we were kids, my mom used to bring us. We couldn't go into the jail to see my uncle, but we'd see him waving out of a window of the jail. Hey, they would let him wave at us. I was like, I don't know, 5, I think, or something. I don't remember. Anyway, let me fill up my bowl. Hopefully I'm not boring you guys. I got a lot more stories. These are just the ones that popped in my head before the show started. I wasn't going to tell any stories, but I was remembering the wrestling event where my brother ran and almost got crushed by Abdullah the Butcher, and then all kinds of childhood stories started to flow back into my head from when I was a kid. Hey. So anyway, yeah, my uncle went back to jail for stealing a boat and and some paddles. Hey. Dumb cocksucker. And that's all I know about that. I don't really know most of my mom's side of the family. I know some of the people from her side, but I don't really know all of them. I've met them all growing up, but as I got older, I didn't really go and visit my mom and stuff because, well, we just weren't allowed anymore because of fucked up things that happened and stuff. But anyway, my last story that I have on my notes here about visiting my mom, it's about the last time I went to visit my mother as a kid, me and my brother. I visited her a few times when I was a teenager. I even moved in with her for about 6 months when I was a teenager, but she kicked me out. Hey? She didn't want me living with her anymore, and she kicked me out. I was 16 years old, and she told me to get the fuck out. So I left, and yeah. That was the only time I ever lived with my mom. It was when I was... Actually, I wasn't 16, sorry. I was 15. I was 15 years old. I ran away from home because I couldn't stand my stepmother. And I went to my mother's house because I thought, I haven't seen her in years, maybe life will be better over there. Eh? And it turns out, I was wrong. My mom was nice at first. Probably for the first 2 weeks or so, she was nice as fuck, and then she just turned into a bitch after, and is pretty much, fend for yourself, get your own shit. If you can't find any food to eat today, you're gonna have to starve because, she's not doing nothing for me, and blah, 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 you know what I mean? And then the time came, 6 months passed by, and we weren't getting along very well, and her husband, he was a dick. It wasn't the same husband as the guy from the wrestling and stuff. My mom's been married like fucking 5 or 7 times. I don't even fucking know how many times she's been married. I can't keep up. Hey, I haven't even met some of her husbands, for fuck's sakes. Anyway, this guy he was nice at first too, but he became a dick, and he started trying to boss me around and shit, and he'd always say, like, oh, this is my house this, my house that, my house this. And he said to me one day, he says, get your ass outside and chop some firewood. They lived at a camp, I think on Lake Superior. That's where it was, Lake Superior. I don't remember the name of the fucking road that they lived on, but it was way out in the fucking woods. And it was a camp. And so he needed wood for the wood stove, and he told me to go chop the fucking wood. And I didn't like the way he was talking to me. Hey? And I said to him, it's your fucking house, right? You go chop the fucking wood. And that was it. My mother kicked me out. And, yeah. She kicked me out because I argued with a man that she divorced probably about a month after she kicked me out anyway. Hey? Good going, Mom. Anyway. Yeah. I hope I didn't bore you guys too much. Yeah. There's a few times when I was younger, my mom was supposed to pick me and my brother up, and she didn't even show up. She had other things to do, you know. She had parties to go to and stuff, and she wouldn't even come to pick us up sometimes. Oh yeah, my final story on that, I almost forgot. When I was 10, that's when I stopped going to see my mom, because my mom did a bunch of things that was not, how can I say it? They weren't things that a fit parent would do, if you know what I mean. Hey? And my mom got in trouble for the stuff she did. Her husband ended up divorcing her. This is the one, not when I was a teenager. This is back when I was a kid again. The husband I was talking about, the wrestling stuff and whatever. Well, that guy ended up divorcing her just when I was 10. He divorced her because of stuff she did. And me and Billy weren't allowed to go and visit anymore because of the things that she did. And because my mom fucked up, what she did was she took everything of mine and Billy's, our clothes, our beds, our dressers, our TVs, VCRs. VCRs were in back then. Hey, actually it was VCRs and beta machines back then, but we had a VCR each back then, me and my brother Billy. All of our toys, everything we fucking owned, our bikes, everything. And she gave them away. Or she probably sold them or something, but she got rid of all of our stuff. She just got rid of everything we owned, gone. Hey? Everything we ever had, our whole childhood at my mother's house, she got rid of on us like we didn't even exist. Like we were garbage. Hey? Fuck's sakes. Anyway. Hang on. Hey? I got the munchies really bad. I know we're coming up on the end here, but I can't wait. Just hold on a second. I still got me a tomato from my tomato sandwich. Hey? Fucking rights. Let me cut a slice off. Throw a little salt on her. Hey? Oh my fuck. Hey? I love tomato and salt. Don't know why. Just do. Hey? Anyway, I probably shouldn't keep you guys too much longer. Maybe next time I don't have anything to talk about, I'll tell you about, hey? I'll tell you about life at my dad's house. Having a stepmother. Good times, hey? Real good fucking times. Yeah. Why fuck do I ever got the munchies? Hey? I told you guys also not too long ago, my mother doesn't talk to me because she doesn't approve of my lifestyle. Hey? I'm supposed to give a fuck. I told you guys one story from my childhood before. I don't know if you guys remember, though. I'll tell it again on the way out, okay? This is the last story, though, then I gotta go because I got a lot of fucking shit to do. Eh? Well, not really, but kind of. So every year as a kid, my mother wasn't able to get me and my brother for Christmas. My dad always had us. So one year, I guess my mother argued with the courts or something to be able to take me and Billy for Christmas. And so she was granted that Christmas back in 1980 something. I don't know how old I was. I was probably like 7 or 8, maybe 9. I was 7, 8, or 9. Hey? And so anyway, Christmas Eve came around. Me and my brother were excited, it's Christmas Eve, and we'd never been to my mom's before, There's presents under the tree with our names on it, and we were fucking excited, hey? And a neighbor from up the street called my mom and asked if her and her husband wanted to go to their Christmas Eve party. And, of course, my mom, being the selfish person that she is, accepted to go to the party. She accepted the invitation. But before she can go, she had to get rid of her 2 problems, right? Me and Billy. So, my dad couldn't pick us up because I got other brothers, right? And they were celebrating Christmas in Sudbury. And we were in the Sioux on 3rd line. And so my mom is bitching that she can't keep me and Billy. My dad's got to pick us up or some shit like that. And so once again, my grandparents, they were staying at their place that my grandfather built in Thessalon. And they just so happened to be going to Sault Ste. Marie that day, or that evening, sorry, to celebrate Christmas Eve over at my aunt and uncle's house. That'd be my dad's sister's house, who passed away. Yeah, they're not with us anymore. My aunt and uncle that we spent Christmas with that year. But anyway, my grandparents picked us up. My mom gave me and Billy our presents, told us to take them. See you later. See you in a couple weeks, hey? And yeah. I ran out of paper towels. So yeah, we ended up spending Christmas Eve with my grandparents over at my aunt and uncle's house, hanging out with our cousins, eh? And yeah, that's all I got for stories today, eh? Hopefully you guys weren't too bored. You probably were, but I have nothing else to talk about today. Today's a day of I don't know, trying to stay cool. Hey, I gotta end this so I could turn the air conditioner back on. It's really muggy. Hey, I gotta go over there, get my bag peeling spatula out. Hey, my nutsack's starting to stick to my leg, and yeah. So hopefully you guys weren't too bored. I'm gonna get in my road toke. I see we got some new subscribers. Cigrit holder to yous. Old subscribers. People watching that aren't subscribed. Kind of a foamy one. Hey! People that are watching that aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and stick around. We upload something every day, sometimes a few things. We never leave you hanging like a cock. Hey! So, boop, hit the button, stick around, watch some videos, get to know us, and road toke. Hey? I remember thinking my mom was cool back in the 80s when I was younger. Hey? Saying to your friends, my mom's cooler than your mom. My mom lets me drink beers and smoke cigarettes. Because my mom did. She didn't give a fuck. But it wasn't cool, but, you know, as a kid it was cool. I mean, you thought it was. Hey, your friends thought it was cool, too. You get older and you start thinking. It probably wasn't so cool. Hey? Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. I'm gonna fuck off out of here. Smoke some more weeds. Look for something else to munch on. Smoke some more weeds. And yeah, hey, just keep on smoking weeds. So until next time, like, subscribe, and fuck off! Hey! Hey! Fuck's sakes.